Make sure that you don't put someone that don't talk to each other on the same table, yeah? You want to avoid drama on your wedding day.
You got Michael and Camilla, and then there's Raphael. In 2018 we had Ariel. Our love is real, it feels surreal. Subscribe to our channel and enjoy the thrill. A typical date in a noble's household. We come from London where it's always cold. Daddy has to change the baby's bum bum, whilst mommy has to soothe Raphael's tum tum. Things are crazy as you can tell. At the end of everything it ends all well. The nobles. The nobles.
Hola noble familia, hello, how are you today? Before I start the video, I have to apologize if you hear the rain because it's absolutely pouring it down here in London. My window is literally there, but nevertheless we'll still film the video for you. Today's video is going to be about the do's and the don'ts for weddings. I kind of wish I got given some do's and don't tips because, to be honest, we had what, 2 months to plan our wedding. That's a don't, okay, but I will get into it later. So if you want to find out what our tips of do's and don'ts for a wedding is, keep on watching. Okay, so I thought we'll start with the do's because there are a lot more do's than don'ts, which is quite a good thing. We'll start off with the first do. I've just got my notes here. You should definitely set yourself a budget. You both need to come together and agree on what your budget will be. Our budget was not that much in comparison to some other weddings. Generally in the UK, weddings are from £20,000 to 50,000. It just depends what type of wedding you are having and how many people you invite. But for us, our wedding was £5,000. That included the venue to the wedding dress to Michael's suit. We could have spent more, but we didn't want to because we had quite an intimate wedding. There was literally 50 people at the registry office, and then there was around 150 people at the reception / party. So that was our budget, but honestly it just depends what kind of wedding you plan. Following that, set a date and say, boom, this is when we are having our wedding. Once you set the date, you know exactly when everything needs to be done by. People can put it in a diary and attend your wedding. After that, I've got work around a theme. Choose a color scheme, because when you choose a color scheme you can then go on to finding decorations, balloons. But for me, I felt like as soon as I found a color scheme, I was able to then think about, okay, what kind of decorations are we going to have? What color balloons? What color would the centerpiece be for our table? Working around a theme can also be influenced by culture. It could be influenced by religion. So it just depends on who you are. And then get yourself a dress / suit. I left getting a dress very late. I went with my maid of honor. We went shopping for a dress. When I told the lady when my wedding was, she was like, are you serious? Oh my gosh, like she started stressing for me. She was like, oh my gosh, you have to find a dress today now. She was like, you're getting married in 2 months. The reason why she was stressing was because you get your dress made to fit. That can take quite a long time. Don't leave it like me, guys. I literally left 2 months and it wasn't hard, but then again it wasn't like a breeze. Like I didn't have a long time to plan. Everything was just rush. After that, I've got look for a venue. Venues are what, actually food as well. Food and venue is what makes the price go up in your budget. Some venues are really hard to book, especially if it's last minute. Lastminute.com. That's why it's important for you to set a date. Some people will prefer to look outside of where they live. Like for example, I live in London and a lot of people like to look outside, like near Essex, because it's really nice there. Each venue is different, right? So most venues pay per hour, and some of them as well ask for a deposit just in case anything is damaged. It's important, by the way, to have a kitchen in your venue. You are going to have food for your guests, and it's spacious and big enough for the catering company. Following that, I've got start planning the wedding. So start planning the wedding has a massive umbrella. Within that umbrella, you've got who you're going to invite. Some people invite over 300 guests. Some people invite only 50 guests. So once you get the list, start creating a scene plan. Make sure that you don't put someone that don't talk to each other on the same table. You want to avoid drama on your wedding day. Another thing that falls under start planning your wedding will be looking for a photographer. Photography is quite important because these are going to be your memories for life. You also want good quality photos, and it's just nice to look back at them as well and be like, oh, this is where we got married. Another thing would be look for a DJ. Music is so important for a wedding. Music is what makes the wedding. It just creates a vibe, it creates an atmosphere. I loved the music that we had for our wedding. Another thing that will fall under start planning your wedding would be look for a company who bake cakes. You want a nice wedding cake? Wedding cakes are expensive, you know. Oh my gosh, when I was getting quotes for wedding cakes, because I said wedding, these people think that they can increase the price. Nah, we had a budget that we needed to keep. I looked on Google. I looked for companies that bake cakes. Guys, our cake was really nice, and we had some cupcakes as well around the table. So I've got look for a catering company. It depends what type of food you're going to serve on your wedding. For us, we had Caribbean food. Oh my gosh, the Caribbean food on our wedding, I can taste it. Literally everyone complimented the food that we had in our wedding. Shout out to you, Yvonne, for feeding over 50 people for our wedding. Mwah! By the way, guys, Google was our best friend for our wedding. Google everything. And after that, I've got assign family and friends to help out if possible. So again, shout out to my sisters, to my maid of honor, to Michael's groomsmen, literally everyone who helped us out that day. We're literally so grateful for your help. My dad was there taking pictures. Another do will be decide who your best man and your maid of honor will be. So we had 9 groomsmen and we had 9 bridesmaids. Okay, so let's cover the don'ts for a wedding. So the first don't that I have is I'm laughing because I should have listened to this myself. Don't leave things last minute, people. It will literally cause unnecessary stress that you don't need. You're already going to get married, which is probably giving you anxiety, or it's making you anxious, or you're like super excited. So the last thing you need is to feel stressed. Don't panic. Just remain calm. Just think of the beautiful day that you both are going to share. Your family and friends are all going to be there. I know it sounds silly, like how is that a don't? But it actually is. Like, you have to remind yourself to just breathe in and out and everything will be perfect. Don't go over budget. The reason I say that is because you set yourself a budget in the first place. Obviously, the budget that you set is what's more comfortable for both of you. Try to stay within that, because if you go over budget, you could have used that money towards your honeymoon. And then the last thing that I've got on the don't list is don't argue. I know it sounds silly, right? Why am I going to argue? But when you're planning a wedding, it can be quite stressful. You've got so many things going through your mind that the last thing you're thinking is, I'm not going to argue with my partner. But you might. So this is just a reminder, don't argue. Remain calm. Know that everything is going to be fine at the end. You're both going to have such a beautiful day together. Choose your battles. Choose your battles. Some things are not worth arguing over. And the last thing you don't want is for you to call off the wedding just because of some silly argument you had that might turn into some massive thing. So guys, that was our do's and don'ts for a wedding. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed some of the useful tips. It was quite short and sweet, but I thought it was quite useful just in case you have a wedding coming up and you're like, damn, let me just get a bit more inspiration. If you're planning to get married, use some of these tips because it will help you. Give us a thumbs up if you found it useful. Comment down below and let me know what you enjoyed the most about the video. If you are new to the channel, hi! Thank you for watching. If you can kindly hit that subscribe button and help us reach to 1,000 subscribers. We want to get monetized. Yay! And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Mwah!